In the beginning, when folklore was voice and storm was mystery, the sky over Slavic lands was ruled by raw wind and silent clouds, devoid of meaning until a force of thunder was born from celestial fire. This force, later known as Perun, did not simply appear. He emerged as the first declaration of power against shadow and chaos, a living embodiment of lightning, storm, and unbending will. His presence was felt before it was seen, in the crack of thunder that split the heavens, in the trembling of earth beneath oak and pine. Mortals heard the roar before they knew his name, and they felt his judgment in every flash that cut through darkened skies. Thus began the tale of the great thunderer, whose voice would never be quiet again. His name, Perun, derived from ancient Slavic roots meaning to strike, signified not just the sound of thunder, but the very act of divine force descending upon the world with intent and authority. Mortals across tribes spoke the word as both reverence and fear, for thunder and lightning were sacred and frightening, manifestations of a god who governed sky and justice alike. In many dialects, the word also came to mean thunder itself, tying language to experience, essence to event. Thus, Perun became more than a name. He became the living thunder, present in every tempest that shook oak branches and startled wildlife. Perun's image was not soft or aloof. He was depicted as a mighty warrior god, fierce as the storm he commanded, with weapons that embodied both destruction and protection. His axe or hammer gleamed like lightning, and from his hand shot arrows of storm and flash that no mortal shield could stop. He was both justiciar and punisher, protector and avenger, defender of right order against the creeping tides of chaos beneath the earth. Warriors prayed for his favor before battle, believing his presence could grant triumph or doom with a single strike from the heavens. In sacred groves, ancient oaks stood as living altars to Perun, tall, enduring, and deep-rooted, echoing the tree of world myth that linked earth, sky, and the hidden realms below. These oaks were not mere trees. They were bridges between the cosmic domains, marking the place where Perun's voice could touch the world most directly. People gathered beneath their branches to honor him, leaving sacrifices and whispered requests woven with faith and fear. The presence of lightning upon such a tree was interpreted not as random violence, but as a divine mark of his attention. Sometimes blessing, sometimes correction. As societies grew, battlefields became arenas where Perun's power was tested among mortals and spirits alike. He was not merely a god of storms, but also of war, whose voice was thunder that called warriors to arms. Armies and armies of riders invoked his name before charge, believing he not only watched over them but fought beside them. His fury was both terrifying and awe-inspiring, the crack of thunder, a signal of his will descending like a blade. Perun was also the enforcer of oaths and protector of law, a divine witness to pledges made under sky and between kin. Justice in the world of men reflected his higher order among gods. A lie or broken vow was believed to attract thunder and lightning, signifying his displeasure. The common folk viewed Perun not only as mighty but as fundamentally just. He did not punish capriciously but struck where disorder threatened the harmony of community and truth. In this way, storms were not merely natural phenomena but moral proclamations. Perun's arsenal was rich in symbolism. The thunderbolt and lightning arrows were his most feared tools, but legends tell of golden apples that exploded like fireballs through the sky, a mythical explanation for strange, luminous phenomena. His axe, powerful enough to return to his hand after flight, was revered as a talisman of protection, worn by warriors and farmers alike. Fulgurites, lightning-created glass, were sacred thunderstones, believed to be fragments of his divine armaments. Yet where Perun ruled sky, chaos stirred beneath the earth in the form of Veles, a god of underworld waters, cattle, wealth, and wildness. The conflict between Perun and Veles was not simply good versus evil, but a cosmic struggle between heaven and underworld, law and liminality. Veles was serpent-like, challenging Perun by climbing the great oak world tree, stealing treasures, cattle, or even kin to provoke the thunder god's wrath. The battle recurred through seasons and storms, a cyclic myth explaining thunder rolling across the sky as Perun's pursuit of vase. The chase between Perun and Veles unfolded each year as weather and seasons changed. In late spring and summer, when clouds gathered and lightning lit up the horizon, people imagined Perun pursuing the wily underworld serpent up the cosmic tree. Rain signified Perun's temporary victory, the return of what Veles had stolen, nourishing fields and mind alike. This myth wove together natural cycles and spiritual meaning, binding the community's sense of time to the motions of sky and storm. Above all, the sky was Perun's domain. Where winds formed, thunder echoed, and lightning cracked like divine judgment. He was envisioned riding a fiery chariot pulled by winged horses, an emblem of his authority over clouds and wind. Mortals felt his presence most intensely during storms, a time when the heavens seemed closest to the earth and the divine realm pressed against human life. In these moments, Perun did not merely preside over weather, he communicated through it. To honor Perun and secure his favor, ancient Slavs gathered in oak groves atop hills or near rivers, offering sacrifices in his name. Bulls, oxen, rams, and sometimes even symbolic human representations were offered to appease the thunder god and secure rain or victory in war. Fires burned as sacred beacons, and communities made feasts that bound them together under his watchful sky. The rituals echoed a deeper understanding of human vulnerability before nature's force, interpreted through sacred rites. Perun's worship was widespread across Slavic tribes, transcending regional variations. In Kiev and Novgorod, idols of Perun, often wooden with silver or golden adornments, stood atop hills, symbols of unity and divine protection over the realm. Prince Vladimir, adopting Perun as the supreme god in 980, placed his idol in the center of the pantheon, elevating his cult above local deities and shaping the early spiritual landscape of Kievan Rus. With the spread of Christianity, Perun did not vanish but was merged, transformed, or replaced in folk belief by figures like Elijah the Thunderer, whose feast days aligned with ancient festivals of thunder and rain. Some attributes of Perun survived in the Christian pantheon through saints such as Michael or George, who carried aspects of martial protection into new religious frameworks. Even as official worship declined, folk tales continued to speak of thunder and lightning in terms rooted in Perun's ancient myth. Symbols associated with Perun included oak trees, axes, spears, arrows, eagles, bulls, and the mythical wolf or bear, potent emblems of strength and sky-born power. Eagles, especially, became messengers of his will, circling high above fields and forests as watchers of mortal deeds. The oak's roots and branches, seen as cosmic connectors, embodied his dominion over both heaven and earth. These symbols reinforce the idea that the thunder god was not distant, but woven into the natural world's fabric. Beyond warfare and storms, Perun exercised moral authority among mortals, upholding social order and punishing transgression. Lightning striking a guilty house or field was interpreted as divine justice, a warning to correct wrongs and restore harmony. He embodied a form of cosmic law, where disorder invited thunder and wrongdoing shaped the storm's intensity. In this way, daily life and cosmic power were entangled in a system where morality had celestial weight. When Perun raised his axe for the first time, the sky did not yet know fear. The clouds gathered not by chance, but by obedience, sensing a will greater than wind. Thunder was born not as sound, but as judgment. a declaration that order would be defended. From that moment, every storm carried memory, and every lightning strike bore intention. The world learned that chaos could be answered. Lightning became Perun's voice, sharp and unavoidable. It did not merely destroy, but revealed, splitting trees, stone, and falsehood alike. Fire fell from the heavens not as punishment alone, but as cleansing force. Mortals looked upward and understood that the sky watched them. Fear and reverence merged into worship. Beneath the roots of the world stirred Veles, ancient and cunning. He did not challenge Perun openly, but corrupted order from below, stealing cattle, souls, and fortune. Their conflict was not a single battle, but an eternal chase between sky and earth. Where Perun struck, Veles fled. Where Veles hid, Perun thundered. Thus began the rhythm of seasons and storms. Each clash between Perun and Veles reshaped the land. Rivers flooded when Veles escaped, and drought followed when Perun withheld rain. Mountains cracked under lightning, forests burned and were reborn. This struggle was not destruction without meaning. It was balance enforced through conflict. Life endured because neither god could fully destroy the other. Perun became the watcher of promises sworn under open sky. To lie beneath thunder was to invite divine retribution. Warriors swore loyalty in his name, knowing betrayal would be answered from above. His justice was harsh but predictable, feared yet respected. In this way, order rooted itself in human law. The axe of Perun was not merely a weapon, but a symbol of divine authority. Forged of storm and iron, it returned to his hand after every strike. Falling from the sky, it became a sign of his presence on earth. Those who found stone axes buried in fields called them thunderstones. They were carried as talismans against evil. Before battle, warriors invoked Perun not for mercy, but for strength. He did not promise survival, only honor. Blood spilled beneath storm clouds was considered sacred. Victory was seen as proof of divine favor, defeat as punishment or trial. War became ritual, shaped by the sky. Though feared as a god of war, Perun was also bringer of life. Rain followed thunder, feeding fields and forests alike. Crops grew because storms broke the heat of summer. Farmers prayed not to avoid thunder, but to receive it in balance. Thus, Perun ruled both destruction and renewal. Perun was not worshipped in temples of stone, but in forests of oak. The oak, strong and enduring, mirrored his power. Beneath its branches, sacrifices were offered and judgments made. Fire burned without walls, open to sky and storm. Worship itself reflected the god, direct, exposed, uncompromising. Every storm was interpreted as message. Thunder from the east warned of conflict, from the west foretold change. Lightning striking a home was tragedy, but also sign of divine attention. No natural event was meaningless under Perun's gaze. The sky became scripture written in fire. Rulers claimed authority through Perun's favor. Crowns were legitimized by oath and thunder, not blood alone. A king who ruled unjustly was believed to lose Perun's protection. Rebellion, then, became an act of cosmic correction. Power was conditional, never absolute. Perun never truly defeated Veles, nor was he ever defeated. Their struggle repeated endlessly, mirrored in storms, floods, and droughts. This cycle sustained the world, preventing stagnation or collapse. Conflict became necessity, not failure. Balance lived in tension. As new beliefs spread, Perun did not vanish. He transformed. His thunder echoed in new saints, his axe reshaped into crosses and swords. People no longer named him, but still feared the storm. Old gods faded slowly, absorbed into memory and myth. Perun remained in the sky. Songs remembered him when temples did not. Proverbs carried his judgments, legends, his battles. Children learned fear of thunder before understanding gods. In this way, Perun survived erasure. Myth became culture. Perun does not rule openly now, but he has not departed. He sleeps within storms, waiting rather than ruling. When thunder breaks silence, he stirs briefly. The world still listens. Perun is not bound to time or name. He is the raised hand before lightning strikes, the pause before thunder answers. As long as storms exist, so does his presence. The sky remembers what people forget. And above all, it watches. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share your impressions of the video.